Ask the God Culture. This is where Timothy Jay Schwab of the God Culture will answer any question you may have. Our first question is from Randy Claywell.
It's my understanding that the Septuagint was translated by a group of Jews, not Greeks.
Timothy Jay Schwab of the God Culture answers. There were no Hebrews in Egypt at the time. The Bible is clear all the southern kingdom that was in Egypt either returned or died. The Hebrews who could do such with authority were in the temple, and we find their library in Qumran where they were exiled. No other library has such credibility as that one, as they are the biblical keepers of scripture since Moses. Anyone else is not. Yah bless. This is an incredibly illiterate and ignorant answer coming from Mr. Schwab. The fact is, Alexandria had a numerous population of Jews from the time of Alexander the Great, and that history attests to the fact that Jewish scholars were commissioned to translate the Hebrew scriptures into Greek. Our primary source for this information is the letter of Orestes. While many consider the letter to be pseudepigrapha, the basic outline of the letter remains true. In detail, the work relates how the king of Egypt, presumably Ptolemy II Philadelphus, is urged by his chief librarian Demetrios of Phaleron to have the Hebrew law translated into Greek, and so add a knowledge of the Hebrews to the vast collection of books the empire had already collected. The fact is that, contrary to what Timothy Jay Schwab claims, there was a sizable Jewish population in Alexandria, and it is they who translated the Septuagint. If one is going to base their canon of scripture by what is found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, as Timothy Jay Schwab does, there is no reason to reject the Septuagint, as some Hebrew fragments found there agree with the Septuagint more than the Masoretic text. It is simply a fact of history that the Septuagint was widely used by the Jews, read by Jesus, cited by the apostles, and continues to this day as the scripture of the Eastern Orthodox churches. The reason the Jews ended up rejecting it is because the Christians adopted it as their own. Now it's time for our second question. Our second question comes from Joe Boki.
Another great video. I have a question regarding 2 Corinthians 12. Jesus said that no man except he has ascended to heaven. In 2 Corinthians chapter 12, when Paul speaks of his stoning, was he just given a vision of heaven? Did he go to paradise, Abraham's bosom?
Timothy Jay Schwab of the God Culture answers. All souls go into the chambers upon death, including Messiah. He resurrected from there and is the first to ascend to heaven indeed, but that is where he went when he died, not heaven. Paul is certainly in Abraham's bosom. Enoch and Elijah did not die. Yah bless. What? Joe wants to know where Paul went when he spoke of his heavenly vision in 2 Corinthians 12. Timothy Jay Schwab responds by refusing to answer the question and by bringing up the impertinent subject of Enoch and Elijah, whom Joe never mentioned. Absolutely incredible. To quote the 1995 classic film Billy Madison,
"What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul."
That's all for today on Ask the God Culture. I'd like to thank the God Culture's audience for submitting these questions. Tune in next time for more answers from Timothy Jay Schwab.